On the podium, the newest net, Deron Williams, Billy King, Was that for Billy or D. Will? Because Billy's family's here. They like to see a little applause also. And head coach Avery Johnson. Before we start, I just want to acknowledge a few people in the crowd, of course. Our CEO, Brett Yormark. And where is she? The president of Anexum Sports, Irina Pavlova. Irina, where are you? And of course, someone who is very integral to this whole process, our assistant general manager, one of the killer bees, Bobby Marks. Bobby. We will have some opening remarks from Billy, then from our newest net, and then we'll open it up for questions. I'd like to turn things over now to our general manager, Billy King. Billy?
Thanks, Gary. You know, I'm not going to make an opening statement, and did a lot of talking yesterday. I think Coach talked. Today is about Deron, and so without any further ado, I'm going to let Deron Williams welcome him and allow him to make an opening statement.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, first, it's just good to be here. I'm excited about being a net. You know, it's been a quick 24 hours for me, you know, after getting the news yesterday, and, you know, a lot of things have gone through my mind over the last, 24 hours. And at first, it was a little bit of shock. But after talking to Billy, talking to Coach Johnson, and just, seeing the direction that they wanted to go in and the vision that they have for this organization, it just really got me excited. You know, got me excited about the possibilities of competing for a championship in the next couple years. We know that they're very ambitious in going after a lot of guys out there. I'm going to help with that as well. But not only that, but this year, trying to make a playoff push and, seeing as close as we can get to doing that. And I'm just really excited about the opportunity. I thank them for the opportunity, and I look forward to it.
When you ask your questions, please wait for the microphone. I urge you to ask your questions now because we have limited availability afterwards. And before we get started, I just wanted to also acknowledge Steve Wright and Bob McLaren from McLaren Sports, who are here with Deron as well this afternoon. Billy's family is also here. Where are the Kings? There they are, making the trip up from Philly. So please wait for the microphone and also announce your affiliation for those who are watching on TV. First question. Don't be shy. Right here, our own Ben Couch.
Hey, Ben Couch from NJNets.com. Deron, what specifically got you excited about this situation in this last 24-hour period?
We're just talking with Billy. Like I said, the direction he wanted to go in, and the players that he, is looking forward to going after. I'll say that. Got me excited, but also, the prospect of moving to Brooklyn in a couple years, I think that's going to be, great for this franchise. I think great for everybody involved, and that alone is going to draw people, fans, not only fans but also players, to join this organization, and I look forward to being a part of that.
Justin, Phil has a question. Just pass the microphone down.
Philip Bondi, New York Daily News. Obviously, the Nets took quite a risk with you here, with your contract situation, and I just wondered what assurances, if any, you can give to us today, or what factors will go into play over the next few months and the next year or so.
Well, I didn't really expect that question, today. I'm just looking forward to the opportunity right now. I can't really give any assurances or say that I will be here when I don't know what the future holds. I look forward to the possibility of it. It's definitely a strong possibility. I think the fact that they were willing to give up so much in order to get me definitely it speaks a lot about them and how they feel about my services. And like I said, it all depends on how the next year goes, the collective bargaining agreement with the type of moves that we make and people we bring in to this organization.
John Schumann, NBA.com. Deron, what kind of conversations have you had with Avery so far? How do you look at that relationship?
Well, it was very limited yesterday. I had a lot going on yesterday, so he just really wanted to call and just say hello and you know how excited he was to have me on board. And I've actually got to know Coach Johnson over the last couple of years, especially when he was in Dallas and I was still living there in the summer times. I would go up and play with the guys there, and he would be around. So, you know, I got to know him a little bit, and looking forward to playing for him.
Colin had a question here.
Deron, it's Colin Stevenson from the Star-Ledger of Newark. Initial reports yesterday indicated that you weren't happy at all to be traded. Can you just clarify that and tell us what exactly happened and how your reaction came about?
Well, I wasn't happy. I was just shocked. You know, it was very unexpected. You know, when you don't hear any rumors, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're getting treatment and with your teammates, and you learn that you just got traded. You know, it's an initial shock, and I didn't know what was going on. I had to, you know, call my agent real quick to see if he knew anything. He didn't know anything, so next couple of minutes I got a call from Greg Miller, the CEO, and he told me of the Jazz. He told me that I had been traded to the Nets, and was kind of, you know, just didn't know what to think. I started calling my wife, see what she thought, and like I said, once I got on the phone with Billy, you know, I just started feeling better about the situation. You know, I wouldn't lie. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was a little nervous when I heard I was going to a team that was 17-40. You know, that was my first process. But like I said, once I talked to Billy, and it just reassured me how committed they were, and it got me excited. Yeah, watching SportsCenter. Yeah.
Al.
Deron, Al Anazone from The Record. You said you're going to help in the process of getting players. How are you as a recruiter? What are things you can do? And
well, no tampering, first of all. You know. You know, whatever I can. You know, whatever they want me to do. You know, definitely. You know, if guys become free agents, I'm definitely gonna be the one to, you know, talk to them and try to get them to come play with me.
We had Fred.
Yeah, Deron, you know, you mentioned going to a team that's 17-40. I mean, in Utah, it's, you know, the playoffs were always there. How difficult is that, you know, you may be going home in April?
Well, it's definitely difficult, but I look forward to the challenge. You know, I look forward to trying to help lead the team to the playoffs this year. And then, of course, next year, you know, we'll get a fresh start. But, you know, the playoffs aren't out of the question this year. You know, it's still an obtainable goal. I know it's the goal that Coach Johnson has, that Billy has, and the organization has. And, you know, I'm going to try to be a big part of that.
Deron, Bruce Beck, WNBC TV. There's a perception that you impacted Jerry Sloan's decision to resign. How would you like to react to that?
Well, I've reacted to that, you know, on many occasions, and, you know, my stance is the same. You know, I loved Coach Sloan. I respected him. I respected everything that he's done over the course of his career. You know, he's a Hall of Fame coach. You know, he's done a lot for me over my career. We bumped heads on occasion, and it was, I guess, the wrong time to do it. But I don't think in any way, shape, or form that I led him out of Utah or urged him out. I definitely never talked to management or never told anybody that was either him or me or any case like that. It's just sad that he, you know, he had to go out like that.
Let me say something to that question. Whenever you get traded, which I've gotten traded or fired, and I've gotten fired, there's always going to be, yeah, so did Billy, okay, thank you, Billy. So there's always going to be something said, okay, in that process, whether it's accurate, true, or false. The main thing is this is a celebration for our franchise, okay? This is about disassembling a team that won 12 games and assembling a team that in the future that can compete for a championship. And Deron's going to be a major part of that. Whatever his relationship was with Coach Sloan, that will not have any effect on our relationship. I've never had a point guard with Deron's talent level and skill level. I've coached some terrific guys in my career, but to have somebody with the package that he brings to the table, we're really excited about it. So whatever happened in the past, we all have a trail. At this point, we could care less. We just know Friday night He'll be in uniform for the New Jersey Nets, and he can play as many minutes as he wants to.
Hold on. First time. Brian.
Deron, in the middle. Brian DiNovellis, News 12, New Jersey. Have any of your new teammates contacted you? And how, look, you only have 20 some odd games left. How quickly do you see yourself fitting into the system and making your imprint on this team?
If they did, I wouldn't know, because I kind of shut my phone off. I was getting so many texts and calls from numbers I had no clue who they were, so it kind of got a little overwhelming. But I'm looking forward to playing with those guys. You know, I know some of the guys on the team well, and I just look forward to playing with them, competing with them.
Freddie. John?
Deron, I mean, you saw what happened with Carmelo the last 6, 7 months and everything that he went through. I mean, you basically somehow avoided all that by being traded without a hint of anything going on. But then you still, you can't extend your contract at this point, so you're still potentially have that coming forward.
So there's no reason to talk about it, right?
I mean, how do you feel about all of that, and how do you avoid that? And
well, I mean, it's going to be a tough situation. It's going to be a tough year. Like I said, I mean, there's so much that can go on between now and 2012 to even really discuss it, you know. And I won't know what I'm going to do until then. And so I can't give you guys an answer until then. And so the easiest way would just be to go out and play basketball and not worry about it.
Freddie?
Deron, what happens in the future aside, but about like what's here right now, what about the net roster you see? Like, what are the positives that excite you?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of great talent on this team. You know, you got to start with Brook Lopez. You know, you look at him, and he's one of the best young centers in this game. You know, there's some other talent as well. Travis Outlaw. You know, I played with Chris Humphries in Utah my rookie year, so I'm familiar with him. Anthony Morrow, got great shooters in Anthony Morrow and Sasha. You know, I know Jordan Farmar from playing against him in a lot of Western Conference battles in the playoffs. So there's a lot of talent on this team, and I look forward to playing with those guys, like I said.
And just to clear up one misconception, or maybe not a misconception, Darren is how the first name is pronounced.
Not Deron.
Not Deron or Deron. Darren. We're on good terms.
Deron.
Thank you.
Devin Harris always talked about how, you know, you and he had a good relationship, you're friends and all that. Do you find it ironic that you get traded for each other, and have you spoken to him? Yeah,
I talked to him yesterday, and we kind of laughed about it. You know, he said that he never thought we'd ever get, you know, we'd ever switch teams. But, you know, I just wished him luck. He wished me luck, and, you know, that was about it.
Deron and Avery, you mentioned Deron's got all these positive qualities. As a former point guard yourself, how do you see yourself incorporating him into the offense, and what can he offer on the court specifically?
Well, again, Ben, it's really not about, you know, my past or anything like that. I'm just excited about coaching Deron. When Billy and I got hired here basically a month apart from each other, it was about how can we make this organization better? How can we grow it and grow our talent base? And, you know, we've had 50 different fires that we try to put out, you know, with our roster, with our in games. And now, you know, we don't have as many fires because Deron has a skill set that's going to enable me to focus on other areas, and that's what I'm excited about. If you notice this year, I don't nearly get as many technicals as I've received in the past, but when I do, it's a real big blow-up. You know, I don't get up during the games as much as I have in the past. So again, you know, I'm more confident in what I'm doing. Deron, I have a lot of confidence in what he's about. We'll find that chemistry. You know, both of us are coming in together basically here, and we're excited not only about Deron, but also his wife and his kids and his family, because we're big on family, both Billy and I. So again, whatever his strengths are, we're going to play to his strengths. You know, I've looked at a lot of ways how Utah used him, utilized his skill set. We're going to try to figure out how we integrate that into what we're doing. And we're going to just ask him, what does he like? How does he want to, you know, what plays does he like? Where does he want the ball when the game's on the line? And that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Silence. Any other questions? Colin, for the triple play.
Billy, getting back to something Deron said earlier about he's going to help you recruit. How do you foresee using him as a recruiting tool to help you get free agents and whatever else in here?
I just show him the film of him playing, and I think a lot of guys want to be a part of it. He, a guy that's averaged almost 10 assists for his career, can score. In order to win a championship, you need a great point guard, and he is a great point guard. So I think that part becomes the easiest selling point. We got the $1 billion building that's going to be opened in Brooklyn, the first $1 billion arena. So with that, with Avery at the helm, with Michael owning the team, I think there's a lot of positives. So, he has friends, and when the time comes, I'm sure they'll ask him, what do you think? And that's really what it's about. It's about building something and having somebody that they want to play with. And he's a guy that people want to play with because he makes them a lot better.
Hey, Deron. I'm Mark Vieira from the New York Times. I'm curious if you've heard from the ownership at all, Mr. Prokhorov, and if anything, what did he say to you?
I haven't heard from him yet.
And just to follow up,
and the reason he's hella skiing in Vancouver, so he will speak to him. I had a hard time reaching him yesterday because it was 27 below and it was windy, and he said I said, just be safe, because, so we'll be together in London next week, and I think Jay-Z reached out to him yesterday.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you share maybe what Jay had to say?
Yeah, he just said he was excited to have me on board. Excited about the future, about moving to Brooklyn, of course, and about me being part of this organization.
My question's for Billy. I'm Mike Mazzi with ESPNNewYork.com. Billy, the CBA is up, June 3rd, July 1st, and one of the things that's being talked about is the franchise tag. Are you an advocate for that? Foreseeing that for the future?
You trying to get me fined?
No.
I mean, David's watching. David Stern will handle the CBA. He's our negotiator. He does a great job, and so I'll leave all that to him and the committee to talk about that.
Phil? Microphone to your left.
Just for clarification, Deron, are you going to try to wait through this? You said it's going to be a tough year. You won't know what you'll do until 2012. Is that a fair thing to say, or would you consider negotiating July 18th?
Well, I didn't even know until yesterday that I could sign an extension next summer. So I had no clue. I just asked my agent because I saw an article about Dwight Howard, being able to sign an extension, and so I really had no clue until yesterday. So, like I said, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see how next season goes, and from there I'll decide.
Okay, thank you.
Phil, is that clarified for you? Clarified. Okay. Microphone's right there.
Billy, Ian Begley from ESPNNewYork.com. Can you just kind of take us through how quickly this deal came together for you? How long were you talking to Utah? And
I think on Monday night I found out about Carmelo, and then Tuesday morning Kevin O'Connor called and just, we're great friends, and just said sorry, and we talked about the process, and then he presented something that didn't include Deron, and I said, let me think about it, and I called back and presented something that included him. He said, let me think about it, and he called back, and we talked some more, and he says, let me talk to my ownership, and then that night, he says, we'll let you know in the morning. He called and said, we're in. I said, we're in, and let's set up a trade call.
is it rare for a deal of this stature to come together that quickly?
I think I've done one other one, but yeah, I mean, usually it takes a long time, but I think it's something that I had been thinking about, and I think it's something Kevin had been thinking about, but we had never talked about. And so I brought it up, and he's somebody that, in my mind, I knew we needed to have on this roster at some point in time, whether it be in a trade or as a free agent. He was the one guy that I knew we needed to have on our roster. So I thought it was the appropriate time just to see.
And how did your previous relationship with Kevin play in a role in how easy it was to get the deal together?
Well, one thing we knew, it wasn't going to get out. Because and I think we both trust each other in doing deals. We work together in Philly. The odd thing is a lot of times Kevin and I will, if we're doing another deal, before we do it, we'll run it by each other. So we didn't have anybody to run it by this time because we both were doing the deal with each other, so it felt kind of odd. But end of the day, I think Utah got some pieces that they wanted, and I think we got the piece that we want. So I think when you do a trade, I always like to make sure the other party feels good, and I think they do, and I know I do. But, I'm happy for Kevin. I think he's happy for me as well.
Colin.
Deron, I was watching Utah's press conference a couple days ago. One of the things that Greg said was that he didn't think that you would have re-signed with Utah, which is one of the reasons why they decided to trade you. Is that a fair statement on his part? Do you think that that's probably what would have happened?
No, I mean, I was, taking the same stance there. I didn't know what I was going to do until the time came. I had to see how, this season went, and then the season after that, and then by that time, I would have an answer. But I liked Utah. I loved my time there. The fans were incredible while I was there. The organization was great. We had some good years, some good wins. Just guess didn't work out like they planned, and so I'm a net now.
I'll pass it down to Bruce. Brian.
Deron, we've heard Avery and Billy call you the best point guard. Do you consider yourself the best point guard?
There's a lot of great point guards in this league. I don't get into that debate anymore. You look around this league and there's so many talented guys. You got to look at Derrick Rose right now, who's arguably playing better than anybody in the NBA and is a definite MVP candidate. You got Chris Paul, you got Rondo. You got a lot of young guys out there, even the older point guards, and all of us mean a lot to our teams and are important to what we're doing in our teams, and that's what I look forward to doing with the Nets.
Just to follow up, what then do you think are your best assets?
Just leading the team, running the offense, controlling tempo, taking over when I need to, just finding a balancing act, and just playing hard.
Deron, what will Net fans see from you every night in terms of work ethic, in terms of energy, in terms of enthusiasm, in terms of leadership?
Well, like I said, I've always been a hard worker. Since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be in the NBA. This has always been my dream. I love the game, and I like to play that way. I like to play like I love it. I'm not too flashy. I'm big on fundamentals, and like I said, I want to work hard. I want to work hard for this organization, on and off the court. Give back to this community. I was a big advocate of giving back to the community in Salt Lake, and I look forward to doing it here with my foundation.
You ready to go for game one already tomorrow?
Back to back. Why not?